News Alert.
All right, folks, welcome to the News Now. Here we are back out live. This is live right outside of the White House right now, where the top North Korean leader spoke with President Trump there at the Oval Office there inside the White House. Looks like the meeting just got out, and President Trump is walking that top aide to Kim Jong-un back out to the cars there, as this meeting went about over 90 minutes. And this all has to do about a possible June 12th summit between President Trump and Kim Jong-un in Singapore. We'll see if it actually goes down, but it looks like it. The meeting just wrapped up, and that top aide was giving a certified letter to President Trump from Kim Jong-un. We still don't know what the contents of that letter was, but this meeting just wrapping up in the Oval Office. This is right outside of the Oval Office near the Rose Garden in the White House right here. So this is Kim Yong-chol, that top aide there. So he is going to be leaving right now. We'll see if we could get any information. Maybe we can before the show ends here on Fox 10 Extra. But I wanted to bring this here to you, as we've been following this story from the very beginning of today, when we first saw that leader enter the White House there. So this is a top aide of Kim Jong-un. This would be like the vice president of that country. This would be like Mike Pence visiting another leader. So we will continue to see what comes out of this meeting. We just saw President Trump. It's blocked here with the caravan of cars here, but once we get some more information, of course, we will bring that to you. This all started in March, when there was an announcement that a possible meeting would be setting up, and then it got closer and closer, where they actually had a date. And then President Trump, a couple of weeks ago, sent a letter to Kim Jong-un saying that the meeting was off. But 18 hours after that letter was sent, it seemed like things were working to the favor of the United States, and talks continued. So now the North Koreans are continuing to do talks with the U.S. We are seeing this right now as President Trump there. You can see in the back is Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, as they are now escorting this top North Korean leader to the cars here. So you can see here, it looks like they're going to maybe do a photo opportunity. President Trump is meeting other North Koreans here right now. So it looks like we have a photo opportunity here right outside of the White House. We continue to bring this to you. We don't know if President Trump is going to say any words right now while this top aide from North Korea is here. This is Kim Jong-un right here. All right, so there's no mics there right now, but there you can see Secretary Mike Pompeo, as well as they just wrapped up this meeting here at the White House. So we'll know, I bet we'll know by the end of the evening, maybe in even a couple of hours, what came out of this very top-level meeting. Inside the meeting was Secretary of the State Mike Pompeo, as well as John Kelly, President Trump's chief of staff, and then you had the top North Korean aides there as well. So you can see it looks like the body language is all good here, but we won't know until a couple of hours here from now, as maybe some information from this meeting will begin to leak. We'll continue to monitor it for you right here on News Now. Let's see, President Trump now escorting that leader into the car there, waving him off, telling him have a good day probably, and there you go, President Trump motioning to the media there, saying hi. We'll see if any information comes out of here once this caravan does leave. The escort is leaving right now. This meeting just wrapping up. Will there be a June 12th summit between President Trump and the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un? Will that happen? We will continue to wait. That would be a first for any United States leader to meet the leader of North Korea. That would be a history-making event here. This meeting here today, though, with The top Kim Jong-un aide departs after about an hour and 20. Well, it looks like maybe we will get a comment here from President Trump. Let's listen in.
Singapore went very well. It's really a get-to-know-you kind of a situation. Mike has spent 2 days doing this. We've gotten to know their people very well, and we will. You people are going to have to travel because you'll be in Singapore on June 12th. And I think it'll be a process. It's not. I never said it goes in one meeting. I think it's going to be a process. But the relationships are building, and that's a very positive thing.
Mr. President, what's your sense of what the North Koreans are willing to do on the issue of denuclearization?
I think they want to do that. I know they want to do that. They want other things along the line. They want to develop as a country. That's going to happen, I have no doubt. Japan is involved, as you know, and South Korea is very much involved. We're involved in terms of getting everything. Everybody wants the United States, so we're going to help in the process very much. Without us, it wouldn't happen. But I think that you see a lot of very positive things, including with China. I think you see a lot of very positive things happening with President Xi, who has helped me quite a bit with this. So we'll see where it leads, but we're going to be June 12th. We'll be in Singapore. It'll be a beginning. I don't say, and I've never said it happens in one meeting. You're talking about years of hostility, years of problems, years of really hatred between so many different nations. But I think you're going to have a very positive result in the end. Not from one meeting, but you're going to have a
You appear to question their sincerity in your letter to Kim Jong-un last week. Have they gone far enough now?
Well, don't forget, my letter was a response to their letter. The media forgot that. You know, the media said, oh, you had a meeting, then you canceled. I didn't cancel the meeting. I canceled it in response to a very tough statement. And I think we're over that, totally over that. And now we're going to deal, and we're going to really start a process. We're meeting with the chairman on June 12th. And I think it's probably going to be a very successful, ultimately a successful process. We'll see. Remember what I say. We will see what we will see. But I think it's going to be a process that we deserve to have. I mean, we really deserve. They want it. We think it's important, and I think we would be making a big mistake if we didn't have it. I think we're going to have a relationship, and it'll start on June 12th.
What can you get done in one meeting? What can you get done on June 12th?
Well, this was a very good meeting. Don't forget, this was a meeting where a letter was given to me by Kim Jong-un, and that letter was a very nice letter. Oh, would you like to see what was in that letter? Would you like it? How much? How much? How much?
Can you give us a flavor of what the letter?
It was a very interesting letter, and at some point it may be appropriate, and maybe I'll be able to give it to you. Maybe you'll be able to see it, and maybe fairly soon. But really, this was a letter presentation that ended up being a 2-hour conversation.
Why did it end up going so long?
Because we found the whole subject matter very interesting, and because I really think they want to do something, and if it's possible, so do we.
What did he ask?
I think all we're going to do is be there on June 12th, and we're going to see what happens. Mike has been dealing very well. They have a very good relationship with Mike Pompeo, our Secretary of State. It was actually very interesting because this was literally going to be the delivery of a letter, and it ended up being a 2-hour conversation with the second most powerful man in North Korea.
We asked you about levels and South Korea.
We talked about almost everything. We talked about a lot.
President, have you had a conversation?
And we talked about sanctions.
Did they agree to see the ID?
I don't want to say.
The ID, sir?
We talked about a lot of things. We really did. But the big deal will be on June 12th. And again, it's a process. It doesn't go. We're not going to go in and sign something on June 12th. We never were. We're going to start a process. And I told them today, take your time. You can go fast. We can go slowly. But I think they'd like to see something happen, and if we can work that out, that'd be good. But the process will begin on June 12th in Singapore.
Do you believe Kim is committed?